It's been a long time since you guys heard from me or since I posted a video here. I'm finally back from my little break. As many of you may be aware, we already passed the time for registration, which typically is like the first Wednesday in October, and then it runs for a 30-day period, and we're already towards the end of October and the registration has not opened yet. Okay, so if you were thinking that we've already done the registration and you miss it, calm down. We haven't even started yet. Well, the reason for the delay is because there's a government shutdown. There's a US federal government shutdown that has paused most government processes, and that is why DV lottery has not begun yet. You hear about government shutdowns, it's basically that both parties, major political parties in America, the Democrat and the Republicans in the Congress, have not been able to come to a compromise on the federal government budget. And so the government is shut down. And hopefully both parties are still working to come to an agreeable compromise so that the government will be back running, and then we can possibly have our DV lottery registration. Now, there are some things that were in the pipeline about possible changes to the new registrations. Now, whether these things are going to be applied is yet to be known, but I just wanted to go over some of these things. Some of them, we know for sure that at least one thing is going to affect the DV lottery registration, but then there are other things that were mentioned, and I will talk about them too. The first thing is the $1 fee for the DV lottery registration. Now, registrants are going to pay $1 per an application. So if a husband and a wife submit separate application, then it's going to cost y'all $2. So every application that you submit, you will have to pay $1. So that one is already being set. But then there was another thing that was being to be added onto the DV lottery registration, and that was the passport requirement. You guys know that a while back the passport requirement was in place, and that kind of set back a lot of people who did not have a travel passport in place. So the passport requirement, as we had it before, it would ask for your name on the passport, the issue date, and then the expiration date, that information, and they had to be or from a valid passport, meaning your passport should not have expired. All right. Now, the new requirement is suggesting that you will have to possibly upload up your information from the biodata page, meaning when you open your passport, the page where it has your passport photo, your name, your nationality, the expiration date and issuing date, you're going to be scanning that into the system and upload it, and then it will automatically populate for certain fields so that those things cannot be changed, because whatever you upload, the system is supposed to read it and populate certain section of your application. The rationale behind this is to help minimize fraud, that when people who are not aware that somebody is registering for them, and then later when they get selected, then these organized crimes ring will reach out to you collecting money or asking you to do certain things that will violate this immigration process. So they want to take that power back from the hands of these criminals, so that you will have to have your passport and that information. Those people who would have previously have the chance to apply for you without your knowledge cannot do so because they need your passport. So for somebody to apply for you with your passport information, it means that you should have been a willing participant in that process. So you can't later turn around and say, I did not know this, because your passport is still involved. The other thing is that there's an issue with people having problems with their names. Sometimes people have either misspellings or typos in your name, or how the name is arranged based on their understanding of what is requested on the DV lottery entry form for the part 1, and then sometimes it kind of conflicts with what is in the passport. Some people end up with FNU, which is first name unknown, even though they have a first name. It's just that during the registration, the way they type it in there. I have personally experienced issues with some applicants who have had that problem also, because they misunderstood what it was requesting from them on the registration form, that they misarranged their names, and so now they end up with a different arrangement of their legal name. All right, so these are some of the things that they mentioned as the rationale behind them making that new requirement. As to whether this has been approved to go into effect, the rulemaking proposal was concluded in September 16th. So whether it's going to be official is yet to be determined. But since we have a government shutdown, we don't have the DV 2027 official registration information. But these are things that you guys should prepare for. Prepare for the $1 and prepare to have a valid passport. So this is a good time for you to make sure that your passport is valid. I'm talking about the principal applicants, okay? So you don't have to rush and go and get passport for your children, but for the principal applicants, you definitely need to have a valid passport in place. So guys, this is the information that I have at the moment. For those of you who are DV 2026 winners, interviews are still going. Even though we have a government shutdown, the embassies are still doing their job. They are still working. But for now, official data will only be available starting next year in January. So for now, it's just word of mouth. People telling us whether they have interview appointment or not. So keep an eye on your case. There are new requirements for some embassies where they do pre-interview appointment document verifications, meaning sometimes your embassy will require that you bring your documents, your original documents, like your marriage certificate, your school certificates, your birth certificates, all the documentations that legal change of name that you did, all those official documents that you'll be taking to the interview. They need to see them for them to go through and do authenticating and verifying that they are indeed yours. They are authentic documents before your interview, so that by the time you go for an interview, then they will be set on everything. Then the interview will be based on how you answer your questions, or if anything comes from medical, right? Then it wouldn't be anything from your documents. They'll be able to determine whether your documents are real or fake, or whether you are eligible already before your interview, so that on your interview day, when you come and they know you are not eligible, they don't have to go through a whole long process of concluding the interview and then now doing verification. So they can be at the front of the issue of long AP wait. I feel like this is a way for them to proactively confront the issue of people being in AP for a very long time, so that when they do this document verification, if there's anything that they need from you, their issues, those can be addressed before your interview, so that we don't have this long waiting period after an interview has concluded. All right, so guys, be on the lookout if you're preparing for your interview, or you're waiting for your interview as a DV 2026 winner. Now, U.S. Embassy in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, has paused all visa services. So those of you from all the Burkinabés who are planning on going for an interview there, you may have to take your cases to other countries, because there's no set date on when they're going to resume visa services in your country. So I highly recommend that you guys look to your neighboring countries and take your cases there, so that you can have your interview without having this pause affect you, right? Because at the end of the day, all visas for DV2026 will have to be issued by the end of September 30th, or they'll have to finish up all the visas but before September 30th, or by September 30th they're going to end for DV2026. So you want to make sure that you are not affected by this pause at your embassy. All right, so guys, this was all that I wanted to share with you today, but I miss you guys. I'm happy to be back. Thank you so much for sticking around. Please make sure you subscribe, follow me on Facebook. I have a few live videos there. I think now Facebook just gets rid of the videos like after 30 days or something, so I'll have to like download them and put them repackage them, put them back. But guys, thank you so much. It's good to be back. I miss you guys. Love you. God be with you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.